Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
As a sports fan, I have to confess. Sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
Summer may be winding down, but it is always podcast season here at the Times Union. Welcome to The Eagle, a Times Union podcast. I'm Jessica Marshall. One of the highlights of the summer in this region, at least for me, but I do think it's safe to speak for others here, is the Philadelphia Orchestra's summer residency at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center. Emmy, Oscar, and Grammy-winning musical artist Jon Batiste performed with the ensemble on August 22nd. That was the same day he also debuted his new album, Big Money. Batiste is no stranger to Saratoga. He and his wife have family in the Spa City and visit frequently. Batiste spoke with Times Union arts and entertainment editor Rick Marshall in advance of his performance at SPAC, and here's their conversation.
Got a horse. Don't mean you can ride.
How does it feel to be introducing your new album to the world in Saratoga, a place where you and your wife both have a connection to? Does it feel special?
What better place than to go to what I consider to be a second home, since meeting my wife there and having so many close friends there and family who are living there, and really being so rooted in the community for many years in very important ways. And this album being a very authentic album for me in my life and in this moment of my artistry, it all felt like it was meant to happen this way, even though we didn't plan it that way.
Have you found yourself in Saratoga much since those days back in the day? Your last performance there was, I think, in 2018 or so?
Yes. But we visit all the time. As you know, the years have gone by. We're always in Saratoga having folks over to the house that my wife grew up in, and the holidays and all the different occasions that we've been there over the years are I couldn't even count how many times I'm there. I'm just not always performing.
I really enjoyed the preview of the album I heard. I was really struck by how many different genres and sounds it brings together. I read it described as new Americana, but I'd love to know more about what that term means to you and what unifies the songs in your mind.
There's so much that changes once time continues to evolve and our relationship to history evolves. And with my previous album, Beethoven Blues, I think about that too, with the term classical music, and now that there's all these different forms of what you could consider American classical music, like blues and gospel and jazz and all these things that have happened since the term had been coined for European classical music. Perhaps the canon of that could be expanded or iterated upon. And then this is what I was saying about Americana in terms of the album Big Money. We have this term that is very connected to all of the mythologies and sonic landscapes and cultural happenings of American life. And there's so many different genres and styles that I think fit under that umbrella, that really now in a time where there's all of this talk about identity and policy and the world is going through these things in a different way, as well as America in its own way, that it'd be great to kind of get back in balance and to talk about things from the perspective of where they've evolved to today musically. And that's what I wanted to do, bringing all these sounds under one big tent and thinking about how to really make something that felt cohesive with all of these different elements that speaks to the time we're in musically and socially.
I read that most of the songs on the album were recorded in single takes over just a few weeks. Is that
Yes.
something you set out to do or something that just sort of happened organically?
Well, in the tradition of the styles of music that we're playing, if you think about the way that they were recorded, it was very much the same way. One or two microphones, everyone gathers around and records. And some of these recordings, ham bone and these early folk recordings, they were performed by folks who didn't even consider themselves to be professional musicians. They were people who played music as a part of their community, and maybe they were church singers or they were people who were sharecroppers and farmers, and they lived in a way that was not in the spotlight. And then recording technology was invented and folks started to try to document the sounds of America. And we have these documents of these recordings. And in the tradition of going back to the essence of recording, we wanted to intentionally make this album be captured in that way.
Now my room has got 2 windows, but the sun never comes shining through.
It really is wonderful, and it covers so many different areas. I was really struck also by the song with Randy Newman. I wondered before I even read this whether this was sort of a one-take sort of thing, because the sort of banter and informal sort of back and forth that you have in the song really comes through. Can you tell me a little bit about recording with Randy Newman?
I live on a long avenue, lonely avenue. Now my covers, they feel like lead now.
Wow, what an honor. I was very honored just to be his friend and to record with him. To record this song in particular was very much an honor because we both are lovers of Ray Charles and his music. And Doc Pomus wrote this song that Ray Charles made famous, Lonely Avenue. And we were talking about it, and we decided to record it. It was very much a spontaneous recording. Even as the rest of the takes on this album go, this one was of the most spontaneous because we weren't even in the studio. We were in his living room. And this was something that was also very much an honor for me in my career, in my life, that I didn't realize at the time was happening. My visits to Randy and going to his house and us deepening our relationship inspired him to want to play and sing again. And he hadn't really done that on record in some time and hadn't really been doing it. And the accounts of those who are in his family and that were in the house, hearing him play and sing, they were very grateful that I had inspired him to get back into the game in that way. So I didn't know this was happening until they told me. And once they told me, we were saying how it was important to document this because it's a milestone right now for him at this point in his life to be this involved with the creative practice. And we decided to record it. And the first thing that we recorded in that living room where we had been hanging out was Lonely Avenue. And that's what you hear on the record.
Absolutely amazing. I would also love to just circle back a little bit on just the experience of performing the album live in like this sort of open stadium style environment here with an orchestra. I mean, you had to make some pivots just to be performing it in that environment, but then also to be performing it with the orchestra. How do you sort of approach sort of changing and pivoting and tweaking the songs to make them work in this environment?
Well, there's such a beautiful collection of instruments that comprise the orchestra is really the ultimate sonic landscape. Every texture and every color, every emotional color is there. So there was everything and more that you would need for the songs, because the songs on the album are so bare and stripped down. and there's so many beautiful players in the orchestra and in my band alike. So I just thought that it would be a great opportunity for me to really plus up the songs and to take all the essence of the songs and put them in different sections of the orchestra so that the bass becomes bigger and the harmonies become wider and all of the elements of it have even more range of contrast, so that in the same song we can go all the way to the height of colors and saturation sonically, and then have moments where it breaks down to just the piano and the orchestra is not playing at all, and it's just the voice, and it's one voice. So there's a whole range of dynamics that we have access to because we're making these songs come alive through the orchestra.
Well, Jon, thank you so much for chatting with me here. It is wonderful to speak with you, especially because of, all of your local connections to this region here. I'm always thrilled to hear about everything going on for you, and congratulations on all of your success, and good luck coming up.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. It's great to speak with you.
For more of the conversation with Jon Batiste, head over to timesunion.com. You can also get the latest news and features there, and you can sign up to have the latest delivered straight to your inbox every day. That's it for this week. We will be back soon with more from inside the newsroom. The Eagle is a production of the Times-Union. It's produced and edited by myself, Jessica Marshall, with help from Erica Smith and the Times-Union digital team. Our music is Flyin' by Top Floor. Special thanks to Rick Marshall for his contribution to this episode. Do you have questions or comments about this podcast or any of the podcasts that we produce at the Times-Union? Please email us at podcast@timesunion.com. In July of 1908, America was transfixed by the murder of a young woman in upstate New York.
Either Hazel came down here alive or dead. We don't know.
Oh,
I think she was alive.
She was found floating in a country pond, her death shrouded in mystery, her killer unknown. Was she murdered by a spurned lover? Was she leading a secret double life outside of her station as a governess to the wealthy residents of Troy, New York? Did she know too many secrets?
She was obviously trying to create a better life for herself, and she knew how to maneuver to make it work for her, and it worked until it didn't.
In this new limited series podcast from the Times-Union, we'll go back in time to an era of wealth and prosperity, of rampant political corruption, and of secrets and lies in upstate New York. We'll unravel the mystery of the life and death of one young woman, and why her story still resonates more than a century later.
'Tis the last rose of summer left blooming alone.
Listen to The Girl in the Pond at timesunion.com or wherever you get your podcasts.